Alright, let's have a look at Steve's demo, just quickly. Actually, I want to talk about something else, but voila. Beautiful. Sorry, map on off, toggle for, that's right. In principle, it's the same method as what I use, but so it's something lining up the space. Yep. Looks like a champion. What a surprise. Not really a thing I wanted to talk about, actually. He's using raycasting as well to eliminate the overdraw. So from the camera's perspective, where are we? Up here. Little dude here, that's us. There's nothing really behind that because of the raycasting out. What I did think is actually what you could do really is have volumes. The world can be made up of a series of interconnected volumes rather than actually have a map and tiles. So from each location in the world, once we know what's around us, why are we calculating that next time? In this case here, there's, if the map's, I don't know, 20 by 20 or whatever, so you've got 400 of these possible potential places that the camera can be. If we have a short list of what tiles are available, and we compute that either up front or while it's running actually, which is entirely possible, we can take a bunch of work off the runtime. Alright. The other one is really this idea of portals. I made a long video about mine, and I've scrapped the idea of making the video entirely, and they just take too long to edit. The principle really is, you think about, if we knew this shape, we had a list of shapes that the world is made up to that are one continuous section, right? Or I think actually a better idea is if we had if we pick this tile here and then made a rectangle out of this, right? How far can we make this rectangle down to here? Okay. That's our space. Sorry. This is our space. Now, any holes in adjoining rectangles are where the portals link to each other. So this portal here would have this wall here attached to it, and that wall there attached to it, and this common space here. So when we're in this section here, we go, okay, how many portals can I see outside of the open space? So we go, all right, there's an open wall here, an open wall here. If I'm pointing this direction, then we look at the portal attached to it, which would be something like here. Right, that's this is A, that would be B, right? And whatever these, just automating the rectangles, right? So we're pointing this direction here. We go, okay, I can see this doorway. There's not really a doorway there, but it's an open space between one space and the next. Now, each portal has the walls that bound it and the connective doorways, we'll call them, between the next one. So if you up here, for example, if we had this portal here, we've got this list of blocks around us. Nothing behind that needs to exist. we step into the next link here, which is going to be this portal down the side here, I would imagine it would create. So if I'm here, there's only looking this direction, I can only see the blocks in two portals, here and here. Even when I stand here and look down the hallway, I'm going to see from A to whatever this one here this portal would be called, then into here. Potentially, isn't it? Because this is a shared wall, and that space is going to need to be linked to that the portal that joins between the two things here. So you can have like you couldn't really call them portals, but they'd be like linked volumes. So you run through the map, work out where all these volumes are, and attribute them to what volumes they share. In theory, that I'm sort of riffing this a bit, but in theory, if you worked out what's in view from the camera, what portals can we see, and we keep going until we can't see out, there's no open space where the camera is pointing, we should end up with a list of these volumes to draw back to front. So we can see between, most spaces are like a room, a hallway, and a room, right? So if we, down the bottom here is probably a very example of that. So I guess the portal filler would pick these two volumes here. It would just be like a rectangle, just scans across and finds rectangles and goes, okay. And then if we have a rectangle below that and below here, we could probably, make it join the two rectangles together. So this one here would be like, okay, that could be the same, or it looks down apparently. Maybe we look across and then we look down and make that rectangle, and then just tag those blocks as being they belong to portal or whatever. And this shares an empty space with the previous portal or volume, whatever you want to say. But anyway, so if you're inside this one here and we point this way, then we only have the blocks around us, this one, that one, blah, 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 ones along here, to actually bother linking with. Because this doorway is not actually in view of it's not in the fuss room. See what I'm saying? Which might be a neat way of actually eliminating a bunch of work that the whole thing needs to do. That's what I was going to try anyway. But I want to put the idea out there so you can have a go at that. It would come, the quality of the portal, it's probably better if the guy making the maps, or the dude making the maps, set up the zones for the portals. That would probably give you the least amount of them, and the best quality. Like here, for example, if we go across here, let's have this long rectangle here, and this is broken up by this space here. Do we really want this one here to be one long thing? Yeah, maybe not. At the end of the day, the whole idea is to have a short list of the things that are visible from this point. So the concept is that, it's the same concept that Quake uses really, except they use spatial partitioning, and this is like a poor man's spatial partition. Yeah. Anyway, just putting the idea out there, see what you come up with. We'll have a go at it later. Good luck with the demo. Looks awesome, and I'll see you soon. Bye.